IVM.
Right, so hello and a very, very good festive morning on this day of, I think what I in Bangalore here call Ugadi. I being Karthik, and I'm joined on this morning. The first faces I actually see on a beautiful Monday. No, it's a Tuesday, right? On a beautiful Tuesday morning is Shivram and Sapre. So we celebrate Ugadi here. What is it in Mumbai? Don't say quarantine. Don't say quarantine. Quarantine tikka or something.
Tikka, no. That is different.
Tikka. You don't get out of Bandra station.
Yeah, okay. A very happy Gudi Padwa as well to the rest of y'all and any other utsavs that y'all are that y'all are
Chand is
celebrating.
also there.
I think
Panchami.
Ramzan also started today, so yeah, it's
Christmas.
They'll be hungry. I'll tell you that by the end of the listening to this podcast, and because we're going to give them such great content. Okay, now I don't know what number of episode this is, simply because I've been, I don't know, celebrating our festivals from morning since I've been awake. So I'm going to ask Rohini to maybe unmute herself and tell us what number this is of season 2. I'm going to guess 28. Yeah. And there's Rohini message saying 28. I guessed it even before she said it out loud. And we're calling this Andhadhun. We're calling this Andhadhun because I am lost. I have not watched a single match of football, bar the El Clasico. I have not even seen the highlights. I have not even seen a single Twitter video or a YouTube clip of any of the goals that happened in the Premier League this season. So I'm coming into this blind. And
like a listener. So you're a listener on this podcast today.
Yes. I'm going to be a listener. I'm going to just, I'm going to moderate. I'm going to say, Shiva, you go first. Sapre, you go next. Sapre, that was so out of line, man. Come on, you got to rein it in, whenever that happens. Because I have not seen anything. But as I have mentioned a lot of times on this podcast, that has never stopped me from giving opinions.
You're the WWE referee, basically. It's all made up, but the referee still is there.
So I'm there to count the 1, 2, 3, right? To start and to end this, to ring the bell and then to count the 1, 2, 3 and to end this podcast. All right. On that note, if you're listening to us on YouTube, stay right around. If you're listening on any of the great podcast platforms that you get Football Shootball on the IVM network, we'll be right back. Hey, through the magic of live video, we're right back. It's not even taken us a second. Okay, Sapre, I heard, and I'm going through this list here based on the results of this weekend, that the team placed second seems to have eked out a late last 10-minute 3-1 victory over a very, very good Tottenham side. How did that happen? I mean, Tottenham, I think they were leading. Son had scored, they were leading, and it seems to be a pretty lucky, fluky victory based on my opinion on reading the scorecard.
This is what happens when you don't watch the match and you go to the scoreline and try to make a story out of the scoreline. There is a lot more that happened in that game.
Yeah, also I thought finally Karthik's found an appropriate name for an episode, Andhadhun, because McTominay's finger in Son's eye made him blind, so probably Andhadhun comes from there.
Yeah.
But,
that works as well.
But you are, but when,
in hindsight.
Yeah, in hindsight. But now, the way you frame this question, you genuinely are going to be Andhadhun on this episode. Yeah, no luck. I mean, Mourinho was lucky. He's lucky to still have a job, to be very honest. But no, a fantastic second half performance. I think Cavani vasooled his salary. The lot of money that we are paying him just with
United
this match.
vasooled Cavani's salary.
However from an audience, from a spectator, from a fan of this club, and not so much of a fan of Jose Mourinho after what he did to this club. Yeah,
of course. You like Jose Mourinho? Oh, that is Karthik. Sorry. Mixed it up. Sorry.
No, I'm so happy. I mean, not just with the result, but with that second half performance. Expected from Spurs to just sit back and hold on to that one goal, and Mourinho can keep talking about the 2 great chances that he had. Pogba should have had a red card and so on and so forth. He's got like a bank of alibis. He's got more alibis than he's got players right now. But who cares, right? Lovely result. Beautiful second half football, and that diving header from Cavani. Like I said, you don't get to see enough of them these days, especially at United, because we lack a striker.
There's more diving than headers, though. I mean, we still have Bruno.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, Bruno.
Why blame Bruno? Yeah, it's Maguire who dives a lot more as well. Like it's compared to anyone there. So it was a good start to the festive week for you. But here's where I'm at. Yeah, Shivram. So Mourinho should be a defensive manager, right? At least he's known to be one. Yeah. How is it then Tottenham keep leading in games and then dropping points?
What a tremendous halftime talk he must have, right? Like, oh, you're leading. Well, guess what? There are a couple of things that also came out of that game, apart from the scoreline, is the fact that Son, VAR is supposed to spot clear and obvious errors. Everyone has watched McTominay run past Son and then get his hand in his eye. And then Son collapses, famously needs 10 people to pick him up. The physio was on the pitch for some reason. And then, of course, the goal was disallowed, which was a fantastic play, by the way. Cavani really slaughtered it well. That leads me to discuss the fact which happened after the game. Ole said, if my son, I think there's a good wordplay that my son, Son, goes down like that and 10 of his teammates have to pick him up, he's not getting food that day or that night over there.
Parenting 101.
Yeah, the minimum requirement. It's amazing. Someone replied to this tweet and said Rashford is not going to like the fact that child is not getting food. But then Jose Mourinho comes out and addresses that comment and says, as a parent, how can you deny your child food? This reminds me of that time. Everyone here has been in a relationship constantly, consistently, in and out. And you've had fights in relationships. And it starts from a matter of fact, right? Let's say you forgot. Let's say take Karthik's example and say he put the wet towel on the bed, right? And
wait. You're talking about a relationship with your folks or with your wives or spouses or girlfriends?
Anyone.
Okay.
Yeah? The near and dear ones. Like
as long as you're living in the home with them,
Or outside. This is just an example. For this very instance, you might need to live in the same house. You leave the wet towel on the bed, right? And that is where the issue starts. Why can't you pick up after yourself, right? And which is a fact. You didn't pick up after yourself. But then Karthik's response is, don't take that tone with me, right? Or how dare you say that to me, right? Now, suddenly you've lost the fact. You've lost the original point of argument. And it's become about what you then said in a different manner. That's when you have no response to that. Which is what exactly Jose Mourinho said. He forgot about what actually happened and said, "Bacche ko to khana khilana chahiye, kaise maata pita hai?" That tells me that Jose Mourinho, he was the special one. Now he's the special ones. He's not good enough. I think it's only a matter of time he gets sacked. Maybe Spurs are happy to finish in the top half of the table. There are no trophies incoming. Unless they win something. FA Cup, I think they're still in the final. Also the
Carabao Cup, yeah.
Carabao Cup. So, yeah, if that saves them, maybe he'll have a chance. But he's taken a pretty good squad. And I'm saying this from an Arsenal fan perspective. They have a fantastic squad.
Yes.
Harry Kane is expected to leave at the end of the season. He's already putting out feelers to squads. And I don't know if Madrid come in. I don't know if they will. But if they do, he wouldn't be able to say no. And I can't blame him. He spent a majority of his life at Spurs. He's been their top scorer for the longest time. He's broken many records, but he has nothing to speak of.
Yeah, no, so just to that point, he's got himself into this mess. He's got a contract till 2024. He's not going to be sold for anything less than 120 odd million. And I don't think at an age of 27, 28, there are enough buyers for him. Madrid are not going to spend that money on a striker who's 27, 28. They have their sights on the two young, guys in football, Haaland or Mbappe, whoever. And for both of them, Madrid would be a destination they would want to be at. Barcelona is looking at selling players so they can't buy. Bayern, Lewandowski is not going anywhere. And Spurs would not want to sell.
And Bayern have Choupo-Moting, right?
And
that's back up.
So, and he'll not sell him to a rival, which is he'll not sell it to a City, United or Chelsea who have the money. So he's not going anywhere. So Harry Kane's got himself into the mess. So, you can feel bad for him.
I don't know. I don't feel bad for him, but I don't think he's brought anything upon himself. I think he wants, that's his boyhood club. It's like Shearer, right? United came calling, but he went to Newcastle. Probably knowing that I may compete maybe one season for a trophy, because when he went there, Newcastle were pretty good. And the previous season, they finished, I think, runners-up. But not really expecting, I think, a trophy for a major part of his career. I think Harry Kane reaching the Champions League final 2 years ago, he probably thought that there is a chance to win something big, to build something big here at Tottenham. And it's his home, right? So I don't really... I'm not saying we need to feel bad for him. We don't have to. He's playing still at a very high level. He's probably one of the captains of England along with Maguire whenever Maguire isn't there. So I think he's in a fine position. If now these rumors are coming out that he wants to leave, it's maybe something that Sapre, like you said, he's putting out there just to get feelers from other clubs, from Real Madrid.
No, he wants to. He would love to move on. He'll make any team better. I mean, the talent that he has, but there aren't any buyers in the market for him. And at this age, and had his contract, he was 1 year in his contract, probably the price would have come down, but that's not going to happen. And it's not easy to do business with Daniel Levy anyway.
Yeah, I think that is a big hindrance. But I want to go back to Shivram because he was on a roll there about Mourinho. So I want to give him another minute. And this is a thought that I had based on what Sapre spoke last week. Sapre, you remember the quote that you said where Mourinho said, I think this was after, again, Tottenham.
Same manager, different players. Yeah.
Same manager, different players. You know what? He tried to make it sound there that, okay, the title-winning manager is the same, but these players are lesser than the types I used to have. Suppose we reverse that. And if we put that same manager, different players quote to the Chelsea team, to the Inter Milan team, is he also saying, in effect, is he admitting that it was those players that won him those titles rather than him ever being a good manager, apart from maybe Porto?
Apart from the number of excuses he has, I think he doesn't have enough time to think through those excuses. Because like you said, right, it's fairly obvious the moment, and this she speaks volumes of the person that he is or the manager that he is. Anyone who's worked in an organization knows that a good manager will never berate his team in public. You'll berate them in private, like tell them what was wrong, give them feedback. It's a golden rule of football. You don't give feedback on the field, right? You always motivate your team, right? Why would he pick on his own players unless, it's like you've heard the famous Dylan Thomas poem, Rage Against the Dying Light. This is exactly what is happening.
Yeah,
he's not going gentle into the good night.
Very famous. I slam it many times during.
It was in Batman, Karthik. Now you might remember. Sorry, it was in Interstellar. My bad.
Okay.
Rage Against the Dying Light. So, हिंदी में बोलता हूँ, बुझने से पहले फड़फड़ाते. So, दिया बुझने से पहले फड़फड़ाता है. So this is that where you're raging against the dying light. And this is exactly what's happening. Like he's trying everything that is possible. Nothing is sticking. They were doing well. You said they will win the league. So it's not like you just randomly said it, right? You obviously saw some patterns.
It was the squads, right? And I think it's fair. Chelsea and Tottenham can probably compete for squads of the season, before you enter the season. You just look at it on paper, you're like, oh my God, Lucas Moura is a fairly good player. Son is brilliant. Bale is brilliant. Kane should be brilliant. Then you have Bergwijn there who's hardly gets a game. Lamela is a superstar.
And Dembele was good.
Yeah, exactly.
They have Lloris. It's not like it's they Serge Aurier. Then they got Reguilon. Then there was also Doherty, who at the start of the season was massive at Wolves. I think between Jota and Doherty, I think they picked the wrong guy. And then Wolves got Semedo, so it's like the circle happened. But
and Barcelona is still bad.
Like without Semedo, now they can't even blame Semedo. Now they have to pay Dembele and his hospital bill. But yeah, I mean, he's just run out of time now. It has to come back to him. Like he was good at some point in time. He did do the unthinkable with Porto, and then with Chelsea, Inter Milan, fantastic. Can't deny that. But your facts won't justify the present. Like your past won't justify the present. That was great. That's not what's going to carry you into the future. So
absolutely, the past was simply because same manager but different players.
Different players, same manager. Absolutely, applies so eloquently. I think he's listening to this right now and looking at his copywriter and like, "Kya bakwas likhta hai?" ये तीनों ने खोल दी बिल्कुल.
We'll berate him also in public now.
Same manager, same copywriter.
So, by all accounts, Jose Mourinho is Andhadhun to the ground realities of his position, of his status, of his standing in elite level football, at least currently. Who knows where he'll go next? I think Tottenham have the money to let him go, but I think enough of Spurs, enough of Mourinho for the time being. We have spent a good 15 minutes. Sapre, United, is the title race on now? There's what, if they win their game in hand, I think it's 8 points. So is there a chance there?
It's
that
8
it could happen?
points to City. It's not 8 points
good.
to Newcastle.
I appreciate the fact that you're big. I was waiting for you to say yes, it's real,
Right.
but you didn't. So on this August occasion of Gudi Padwa or Ugadi or whatever, I congratulate you for not being Andhadhun.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but we would be happier if the difference is less than 10 points.
The trophy award for that?
Yeah, मतलब participation certificate with the golden
सबको
border.
मिलता है.
So with
17 team को मिलता है.
the golden border you get. So,
And the
But it's
other
about-
3 get golden parachute.
yeah, it's about closing the gap because City got players who they added in the squad, like first team players. United didn't add any players to their first team. So with the impending transfer window, if they can add and if the gap is down to about 8 points or under 10 points, then hopefully the next season a City or a
Wait, what?
Liverpool will not.
Didn't you? Who got Van de Beek?
Yeah, but that's why he said first team.
First
He's purposely using these awful phrases so
It's not
that he
awful.
can escape from the actual transfers that happened, but I don't have to take
Cavani.
responsibility
What happened to
for it.
Cavani?
Yeah, Cavani was never meant to be like a first team.
Did he start?
I'm not going.
He's going to bank on those two words that he used, first team, to escape from any sort of criticism or comeback that
Maybe you guys have started watching football just like a year or two ago, that you're unaware of these things and you don't know how sports work.
Yeah. But good on
Cavani
them.
started in your
Okay,
first team.
okay. So, but then here's the deal. Last week we were talking about Champions League spots. Is it now fair to say, Shivram, that United have just sealed it? There's no way they're going out of it.
Yeah, unless I think they do a Mourinho, I think they should be fine.
Mourinho finished second with United, so if they do a Mourinho, they'll remain in second position.
Yeah. Okay. So they're in there. The other shock of the weekend was Manchester City losing to Leeds United. Based on the stats, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that City deserve to win. They seem to have more shots on target. This Dallas got some 2 shots, Leeds got 2 shots and they scored and they got a red card, but still they won. So I'm guessing it was a very lucky fluke.
I'm just
victory.
putting it out there. 99% of the games, we just one off game. When City have lost, they have lesser shots on target. Every
enough.
lost, they've always
Yeah.
had
And if stats were to win games, Arsenal would be far ahead. No, actually, Arsenal would still be
Yeah,
bad.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that.
Hey,
But then,
possession is moral victory.
this was a brilliant game last time around, the 1-1. Another brilliant game. Although I think it slightly dulls it simply because this result probably doesn't mean much. City are still winning the league. Leeds are comfortably mid-table.
I think so. One fantastic nugget that came out of that was Bielsa and Pep. Bielsa is Pep's mentor, or so to say, mentor. So this was his first victory over Pep. So very well deserved. Leeds also went down to 10 men. So that's something that we forget. Because now suddenly you're a team of 10 men against the champions elect. Right? So it can't be easy. I think the only thing that bailed them out is their murder ball practice. Very rarely are Leeds defensive. This game was very defensive from Leeds. Right? So they adapted to the situation. They scored 2. If you see when you see the second goal from Dallas, you'll see that he was, if a lot of people track XG and all of that. So you're right, he only had 2 shots. He broke away from the entire team and ran past everyone to slot it in. So it was like, if you remember Torres finishing against, brushing past Vidic and scoring. This was to that, like, you didn't expect it to happen. It happened. And then suddenly City, who haven't performed, like everyone's talking about taking, like, doubling up, tripling up on City players in FPL, they're not scoring goals. So, plus there's Pep rotation and so Pep roulette. So City didn't come through, but I think it's okay because if they're playing like Stefan Torres and then a lot of their, like KDB didn't play the entire game.
Ferran Torres, you mean?
What did I say?
Stefan.
Oh, is that a tennis player? Should be. Sounds
not Torres, but yeah.
Okay. My point was they didn't have KDB the entire team, the entire game. You will see them focus more on Champions League as they go through.
So let's talk about it. Last week it was 2-1. They got a late victory with a Phil Foden strike. Probably didn't deserve that win because Bellingham had a perfectly good goal ruled out for no reason apart from, I think, the referee's ego. He just blew before the ball went in. They're leading 2-1. Although Dortmund do have the away goal, Dortmund did play well despite the fact that they are absolutely peeping it in the league currently, but they still played well. And where does this game go? I think it's still on. Yeah, I was excited about this match last week, and I'm still with that away goal. Dortmund, you expect them to at least score one, so I think it's on. And like you said, Shivram, City do not score that many.
I think it's primarily, before I let Sapre go on this, because he hasn't said anything in a while for City. City don't have a striker. Like, if you watch the game, the Leeds game, you will see that Jesus was terrible. Like, it's really hard to find a spot in that team, first of all.
But here again, right? Because I think they were terrible. If you're saying that, would draw me back to the past few weeks where we have realized that City play better without Jesus or Aguero currently in this current season. They've really gone above and beyond. Remember when this same game week was happening in October, I think, when City and Leeds drew, Liverpool lost 7-2 to Villa, United lost 6-1. City were 14th, United were 12th. I went to check it up after that game week. I mean, the change now is miraculous, and it's a lot of it has happened because City have not had a striker to even select.
That could be a blessing in disguise, right? Like, if you don't have to play Jesus, maybe it's better. Yeah, that's true. Same holds true for Aubameyang, right? I still have won games without Aubameyang. Suddenly, these big shots are not as. But I mean, I would still hold onto the fact that City need a striker in the summer.
Okay, so the Champions League prediction, quick, both of you all. City's game.
I'm going to say Dortmund will get one in, but City will also get one.
So going by typical Shivram, you know what Sapre, you know what Shivram's thinking, right? Dortmund will get one. They'll get one more. City will also score 1-2-1, and then he's going to shout penalties for the last 30 minutes of the match.
I'm a fan of penalties, super overs, tiebreakers. I love those because that is when the true pressure of sport comes in. And that is when it becomes like those 10 minutes of sport become really exciting. I'm guessing City will I think they'll draw 1-1 and they'll go through one. Actually.
Okay.
I am going for Dortmund.
Woo! Come on.
Yes. Just because Pep screwed up my FPL this week. It will come to...
If there is a God in the universe, right? He's looking at everyone's FPL and saying Champions League तो नहीं जिताने दूंगा.
इसके लिए bench पे रखा था ना सबको, ये भी जाएगा तेरे हाथ.
I don't know if benching people is a paap, like a sin. Unless you bench Dallas.
People who've been affected by his rotation, if they say it's paap, it's paap.
अच्छा, तुम्हारी हाई लगेगी.
मेरी हाई लग गई है.
अच्छा, लग गई है.
Okay, the other results this weekend. Fulham lost. We can move past that. Liverpool beat Villa. Chelsea beat Crystal Palace. Newcastle beat Burnley. Man,
wait. Everything else is fairly boring. Arsenal is not even important. What I want to spend time. No, before West Ham.
Okay.
Because you walked past Fulham.
Okay.
Is this, going back to Dylan Thomas's poem.
Fada has happened.
No, because there's Newcastle, then there's West Brom. Right? West Brom are suddenly 2 points behind Fulham.
Yeah.
Do you play West Brom again? No.
No, Fulham but we play Newcastle like I've mentioned 100 times on the last day.
You have. And you said, it won't matter because, games in hand don't matter or something like that because those points don't come.
Yeah,
they won that game in hand.
Somehow they went and won also yesterday. Not yesterday, over the weekend.
Yeah, they really turned it on in 5 minutes. Like the moment St. Maximin came on the field, boom, boom. That was brilliant. Burnley didn't know where to look. Is there an outside chance that West Brom might creep in? Because West Brom are playing tremendous football. If you watch them dispatch Southampton yesterday, Southampton had a few shots and initial few chances, but then they just rolled over. And West Brom have been doing it consistently for the last 2-3 weeks. I don't know, maybe they have nothing to lose, right? So I think
but it's 8 points. I mean they could.
It's also Newcastle.
That's true. And
the striker is Joelinton.
I don't know anything about West Brom except Matthias Pereira. He seems to be a good player.
Callum.
Yeah, Sure, there'll be a Callum, there'll be a Stone there. There may be a Jones as well, I'm sure, in that side.
Robinson.
Robinson for sure. It has to be a Robinson in that team. But I don't know anything about West Brom. Maybe Sapre does.
Yeah, why would you say that? West Brom. The last time I cared about West Brom, they had this player called Greening. Right?
Jonathan Greening.
Jonathan Greening was just like
He was ex-United. Okay, so we'll move from one West to another. West Ham. That's a team all of us have been following. That's a team with Jesse Messi in the side playing.
Messi Lingard, not Jesse Messi.
Oh shit! Yeah. No wait.
Jesse Messi koi nahi.
No, Lionel Jesse. Because Lionel Messi, Lionel Jesse.
Or Messi Lingard. You said Jesse Messi.
Yeah, I made it sound like one of those Hindi shows, I think.
No, he just said Jesse Messi koi nahi.
Okay, but he's doing brilliantly. I think 9 games, something like 8 goals, 3 assists in his 9 games for West Ham since his move there. West Ham, I've not been putting them as Champions League contenders, but they're fourth. They're remaining fourth. They're keeping themselves above Chelsea and Liverpool constantly, and they've pretty much caught up to Leicester City. Sapre.
Yeah, no. One thing about Jesse Lingard, I read this beautiful tweet. It said that United will sell Jesse Lingard, buy Sancho, and still have money in the bank. Right?
Okay, relax.
So yeah, but the problem with West Ham is they scored 3 goals in the last 3 matches, and against Arsenal they conceded 3. In the last 2 matches they conceded 2. So that's a problem for them. And I hope Declan Rice comes back because of the Kitna. Who's a Kevin Nolan? Who's the
Mark
the West
Noble.
Ham?
What is Kevin Nolan?
A legendary name.
Yeah, but he went to Bolton after that, didn't he?
I mean, how much is he going to play? Yeah? They missed Declan Rice. I think
he played 400 games, by the way, Mark Noble, for the squad now.
How much more can you squeeze something out of
one last? I think you're being very negative for a squad that is now in 4th position.
I'm very happy. I'm just hoping they stop conceding goals, and in the absence of Declan Rice, it's difficult for them to do that. Cresswell's also played almost entire season. He was injured now. He played every match for West Ham. The squad hasn't changed too much. So I hope they're able to.
If you remember the City squad of 2010, they had a simple mantra. I think it was Roberto Mancini, wasn't it? Or
2010 was. No, 2010 would have been Mancini.
Yeah. They had a simple funda. Score more goals than you concede. Right? And that gets you all the points. That is exactly what they did. They won 3-2. That is all they need to continue doing.
But I don't think that's a West Ham strategy. I mean, Klopp also did that before he got back.
No, it's not a strategy.
I mean, it's just happening for them.
Hope is the strategy, Sapre.
Yeah, it's happening for them. I mean, that first goal from Lingard, nobody was expecting.
But it helps, right? I think this is the second game in a row. If you go 3-0 up, that is fine if you concede 1 and concede 1
because they conceded 1 in 90 plus 2 minutes or something.
Exactly.
I mean, then everyone's already left for home.
No, but they conceded. They conceded the first goal against Leicester. I think in the 70th minute.
Yeah, you're right. But the point is,
it was shaky.
They're going 3-0 up. Like that's outstanding. Maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe you just want that 1-0 victory where you're scoring the 80th minute. I pray every time Fulham do that. We never do. but
the score or the win?
I'm saying for West Ham's purpose, draws are not going to help West Ham.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So 1 point is not taking them. And given the teams that they're in and around with, so 3 points. And it's in their own hands now. It's not that they have somebody else's game in hands over them who can overtake. It's in their hands. If they start drawing games.
Which somehow makes it worse.
So, yeah, from that standpoint, I mean, let's continue this run, yeah?
Like, if you look at the stats, they have been overperforming on everything, right? Jesse Lingard has had 7 shots, I think, in the last 7 games or something, and scored 6 or something like that. So, it's not sustainable. Antonio's out, right? Last week we were discussing how Antonio plays a very pivotal role in that squad, where he holds the ball up top, and that's when Jesse Lingard also gets a lot of space to run behind defenders and then score those goals, or Antonio lays them off, or Antonio finishes them. Antonio's out. Bowen is great on the wing. Again, I don't know how long they'll sustain it. So Antonio is suspectedly out with a hamstring again, and he's been in and out of the squad the entire year. This might be the only reason that might, even though they have it in their hands and they can write their own future, it might be tough considering how Chelsea are going, considering how Leicester might fold for all you know, and drop out of the top 4.
Are Leicester going to do a Leicester?
They won. So that is the only Leicester I know of. What is the other Leicester?
The one last season where they were in the Champions League spots for the most of the season, and come the end of the season, they slipped out.
Fair enough. Yeah, South Africa, you mean? Yeah, most likely. I don't know why they're not stepping up. They have a fantastic squad. Only Madison is out. Dennis Pratt came back.
For weird reasons, by the way. Him, Hamza Chaudhary, and So for breaking quarantine rules.
Stay home, guys. Stay home. Especially if you're a high-paid Premier League first team, in Sapre's words, footballer. Please stay home.
But I think they were at home.
Yeah,
the problem is they were at home together.
I
mean, one person should stay at his house, the other person, just to be clear, so that everyone understands, including this podcast.
Literally burst the bubble.
All right. Were there any other results that interested you? Chelsea's, Liverpool's. See, I agree with you about Arsenal, because I think that was the most pointless match of the entire Premier League season. Because Sheffield are down, Arsenal are basically Europa League Arsenal. I want to see.
Nothing to win.
I want to see Arsenal in the Europa League. The Premier League is done and dusted for them. Anything else?
Or the Champions League. Next year.
Kai Havertz, your favorite player, Karthik, scored 2 goals and could have scored the third goal. Beautiful first touch. But
unlucky. He didn't watch the game. He's not impressed with Kai. नहीं करना है उसको बात. But
ऐसा पैर उसका ऐसा आया, the ball ऐसा आया.
It was spectacular. Pulisic is your Chahita player. He played incredibly well. They showed the game, a game from one of the previous fixtures. He scored the exact same goal from the exact same position, which was like a blinder on the near post and to the roof of the net. Very, very good shot. I mean, that's a good, well-placed striker's dream where you place it in the roof of the net. Really well done. The one thing I did want to talk about was Lacazette. People are now suddenly, you know how Arsenal fans are. Ek game hua nahi, the return of Jesus has happened. You saw him one-on-one with the keeper against Sparta Praha. They're saying he's still 1-on-1. He's still running. Because he missed it. But he hit it on the bar, to be fair. But it was an easy slot. He played really well over the weekend. And he's completed 49 goals for the club over the last 5 years. He was bought for 52 million. That is over $1 million for each goal. So I don't know in which universe this is good business, but apparently it is good business if you listen to Arsenal Twitter.
Sanchez was got for 50, so still a better deal.
Sanchez is how much? Sanchez is what, 50 million an hour or something.
Okay, but both these clubs that you mentioned, let's finish talking about that. Is anyone giving Chelsea a chance in the Champions League? Is anyone giving Porto a chance in the Champions League? No. Chelsea are 2-0 up, done and dusted, right?
I don't even watch that game because now it's parallel.
Which is unfortunate. They should just have back-to-back.
They won't have draws again, right, for the semis. So who will Chelsea play?
I think Chelsea are on the side that is not Bayern, PSG, City. So the other side, Real Madrid, Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they jammed anyway. They're going in the next round.
Good game, yeah. I mean, even against Liverpool or against
Tuchel it'll be a good game, but they'll lose. Is what I'm saying.
Tuchel has not played Liverpool.
So we're certain that Chelsea will go through, but Liverpool, they went and messed up big time, which they have done quite a bit this season versus Real Madrid, and Madrid were superb. Benzema is at a different level, which he proved in the El Clasico over the weekend as well. 3-1. There are some quarters that are still giving Liverpool a chance. I don't see it, especially because it's at Anfield. It used to be the other way around earlier, where Liverpool you would have a chance at Anfield. I just don't see it. Any differing thoughts here that say Liverpool will score in the first minute and then game on?
No, I think Madrid are going to squash them. They won over the weekend against Villa, which was, their return.
It took a late winner, to be fair.
Yeah. And from trend.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like there was Jota, Salah, Mane was on at some point in time. Then there's Firmino. It was a struggle against Villa, and a Villa without Grealish, right? So if it's a struggle against Villa with your top first team squad, how do you expect to do better in 4 days, like 4 days later against a Real Madrid, which saw Barcelona, dispatch Barcelona like they didn't even exist in the first half?
Yeah, and they're 3-1. There's a 3-1 deficit to cover up as well. Sapre?
Yeah, I have it's too difficult to predict. The fact that I know, Shivam, you said Trent scored that goal, but that's the thing about Liverpool. I mean, they have too many players who can score on any given day. And it's if anybody could come back from a 3-1 deficit against a big team, it's probably Liverpool. So
But
problem
but
with
the problem is the big team is not Barcelona to come back against.
yeah. No, the problem with a lot of people, to have a lot of people who you can, who can score then you wouldn't be where you are in the table. Now then, where are they in the table? They're 6th.
Yeah.
They're 2 behind Chelsea, 3 behind West Ham, 4 behind Leicester. Right? I'm not even going to United because then that's double digits. So many people who can score, but no one's scoring.
No, but this is their only chance. Right? There's no guarantee they'll finish in Europe in the Champions League spots for next season. It's a tough run for them.
I don't think they will. Forget guarantee. I think they have enough quality above them. Even West Ham will finish above them. Is my take.
West Ham is a tough fixture. They play Liverpool actually.
6-pointer.
Yeah, but I hope Madrid go through. But it's difficult to predict. Liverpool.
All right. I think the most interesting one among the other European games is, and we spoke about them, so we should finish with Arsenal as well. Arsenal again in the Europa League. They give you excitement at least. It's not like United just winning 4-0 and then you have to watch the second leg for no reason, or winning 2-0 versus Granada. At least 2-0 is okay. I mean, it's fun if Granada will score. But Arsenal go and mess up against Slavia Prague, who, to be fair to them, are on something like a 27-28 game unbeaten run. So they're no mucks. Yeah, they're coming in on form and they're a pretty good side, as we saw against Arsenal. Shivram, what do you say about your chances? Because currently, Arsenal are technically trailing by the away goals rule. So the onus will be on Arsenal to go and score. And if Lacazette plays, the more he hits it over the bar, the more pressure is going to build. Yeah.
Unlike Sparta Praha, Arsenal are mucks. So they will find a way. They did find a way. They should have won that game comfortably. And that's what happens when you only have a 1 lead. And especially if you're Arsenal, you end up scoring it in the last minute. I don't know if you guys remember the Arsenal-Liverpool game where Arsenal scored, I think, in the 94th minute, and Eboué on the other side gave away a penalty. Like the referee was conned into it, but I think it was the 90 plus 8 minutes, and Arsenal went and screwed that also. So Arsenal have this tenacity to screw up, and they will. I'm hoping Aubameyang will start at some point in time in the squad. He had the flu, for some reason. There was a stat which came out for. I see the question. I can't say the name out loud, but yes, Arteta is surely under pressure. I'm just going to say the first name to be politically correct. Lar, I know what you're doing here. If Aubameyang doesn't start, I think it's just time to let him go. Same for Lacazette. I think the fact that Martinelli played so well over the weekend, he might deserve another chance. I think he went off at 60, if I'm not wrong. So there is the possibility of youngsters starting. And if the youngsters start, they will finish it. If the stars start, I won't be as comfortable watching the game. And in neither of them is Willian included. So
I think this is it. This is the game. This is where I've been saying this for a long time. Europa League is Arsenal's saving grace this season. Because it's a route into the Champions League, and it's the only way Arteta can even claim to be even remotely successful. I don't think it's going to be a grand success, but if they win it, there's something to build on. If Europa League doesn't happen, if Arsenal are out of the Champions League, which they have been for quite some time now, I see this team just continuing in mid-table purgatory. I mean, they're now struggling to even finish in Europa League positions, which is sad. And I see that continuing for quite some time now. So I think this game on Thursday night, it's huge, it's big. And then we'll say the semi-final is even bigger.
Absolutely right. Every game is now a final. But the fact is, if you
except in the Premier League, you play anybody there, it doesn't matter.
I went to the Europa League. But the fact is, if you dig yourself into a 6-foot hole, you can't jump out of it. You have to build a ladder, right? So it won't happen tomorrow. It won't happen next season. It won't happen for the next 5 seasons for all you know. And you can't just switch managers, right? This is not United. So it will take much longer. I don't think it will be any better. Even if you get into the Champions League, you still have to win in the Champions League. The only plus side of getting into the Champions League is the dollars that come your way. There is nothing else that tells you that you should be in the Champions League. Look at the Arsenal games today. There is nothing that tells you except maybe a Martinelli who should possibly be playing for a Champions League spot. That is it.
Saka, what are you saying? Yeah.
Should I repeat myself? Are you?
No, shouldn't Saka be playing for Champions League team?
I think he's thereabouts.
Oh, you
He's
said
not.
Saka. I heard Jaka.
Xhaka should be starting for Real Madrid first of all. Because that's the only way they lose. But yeah, fair enough. There's Saka, there's Martinelli, there's Tierney at best. But yeah, I mean, look at the rest.
I think these are all pity shout-outs by Sapre, He sees Greenwood being so good. He's like, "Arey, wo bacche bhi hai. I'll give them also a shout-out because my kid's doing so well." I always
Greenwood.
felt... Greenwood he's done pretty well. So I feel that Sapre he's actually sticking it to you, Shivram.
No. I've always said Saka is a good player to watch. He is diverse. He plays on both the flanks. He's got the ability to score goals, to find a pass. So he's a good player.
All right. Considering you didn't take the
sorry,
bait,
I just need to cut you because that is the difference between someone who's watched football and someone who's read stats.
I mean, I've also read tweets. There were a lot of WhatsApp messages that came through. I read some of them. So I'm pretty informed.
Yeah, Lar is saying Auba is the new Ozil. Yeah, Ozil was just now, like it's still not like it's not new Ozil. It's like just Ozil. So yes, he's a lot of money costing the club. He's not showed up in many games. He did in the middle somehow come back, but then there was this public put down of Auba by Arteta. So that might have something to do with it. I don't think everything is hunky-dory back home. So that might take a little long. Maybe you should just be on time. How hard is to be on time? You have a Ferrari.
It is, man. It's not so easy to be on time.
I was talking about people who make millions of dollars, but not for us.
Okay. All right. So that was fun. That was the Premier League this season. The title race is done, but the Champions League race is absolutely excellent. We're done with predictions for the English sides in Europe as well. I think the time is now to take a break, and we'll be back with the Fantasy Premier League right after this. Okay, so I forgot that some of you all are still live. So that's why I did the long pause. That
We're right here. How could you forget?
Some of you.
that wasn't necessary at all. Fantasy Premier League, I completely forgot. By fluke, I don't have to pay a penalty because Shivram had said captain a Chelsea player. I had captained Lookman, but he didn't play. Because in effect, technically a Chelsea player became my captain.
Werner, who also didn't play.
Who also didn't play, but that's not my fault, is it?
It's not your fault.
You go blame Tommy Tuchel.
It's not your fault.
So
yeah. Wait, let's build some background into it. But before this, let's start with the league. So there is the Fantasy Football Shootball League. If you want to join the Fantasy Football Shootball League, go to fantasy.premierleague.com. Put in H3OMYA. That's H3OMYA. You can come join us. Millions of people on this league. Sapre is doing the best of us. Let's start with the top 5. Number 1 is Kloppites. Unlike Liverpool, which I'm guessing is his favorite squad, Tanmay Gode is 93 points. I think he's built quite a bit.
He's done. He's the city of this league. Nobody's.
But Anurag Mandle, our last year's champion, is actually second with 2035. There is the Damned United, fantastic movie. Please watch that if you haven't. Athav Kaushal, 76 points, 2023. FC AK, dude, this guy is just so consistent. Just give us your name. 2011. And number 5 is May the Josh be with you, Andre Decunia, close friend, 2008 points. So it's heating up in the top. Everyone's, I think, within 70, 80 points of each other. And we have 6 game weeks to go. So, and I'm guessing a bunch of chips. So this could change. But Tanmay Gode, keep doing what you're doing, man. You did really well this week. You captain Salah, which is safe bet. But he had Lingard, he had Alexander-Arnold, he had Linacho. Also had Leno. So I give you, kudos for the bravery that you've shown and the obvious picks that you have. It's a good mix of what you should do.
I have a question here. If Tanmay Gode wins this league and he gets a jersey of his choice, and which is Salah, but Salah may not be at Liverpool next season. So what will he have?
Good question. Let's wait for him to answer that.
We don't guarantee the name being printed on the back. He just has to choose the
naam apna le lo.
Gerard likhe bhej do, it'll be easier to slip on.
He's anyway coming as manager, right? Pretty soon.
Yeah,
in a few years. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's look at the Football Shootball League with Sapre. Where are you?
I dropped 3 places. I'm on 18 now.
Just get lost, yeah. The one thing we asked you to do well.
Pep is, I don't want to use abusive terms because I've done with that over the week.
This is what happens when you don't have a good bench.
I had a fantastic bench.
Did you have my bench
Yeah,
at Dallas?
but I want to go on that. Your tongue was pretty foul this weekend. Yeah, usually I leave that Tony to Shivram, and I pointed it out that he was
counted
spewing.
it out and then pointed it.
Yeah, he was spewing some adulterated shit on our WhatsApp group. But Sapre, I noticed because I was pretty jobless and doing the checking. I think I do everything but watch football.
Why
Clearly I
don't
had
you
that
just
time.
watch football?
My bit was he didn't start with De Bruyne, who was my captain.
Okay.
I was okay with that because even if he comes for the last 20 minutes, I'm sure he's going to get you a goal or an assist. And then they were a goal down, City, and he got Gundogan first. Then he got Foden. He still didn't get KDB. So, I mean, he deserved to lose. And then my vice captain was Kane, who was hoping he doesn't score a goal. So I got screwed. I got 46 points, man. One of the worst weeks.
You're falling down big time, right? Towards the end of the season.
Not big time. Man.
Not big time.
He's doing a Mourinho.
Yeah.
Not a big time.
Wait, we have to go back. We have to go back and figure out who got the most points this week. Because this is a tradition that we recently started. We all pick a player in FPL and then hope that player then gets the most number of points. If they don't, the other two will have to listen to the person who won and they get to stipulate an FPL change or something they want to screw us over. So let me name our picks. And this reminds me, it takes me back.
Lingard, so
you wish. Karthik picked Salah, who scored a goal, did well for himself. I think he ended up on 7 points something.
I don't like your tone. It's clearly I didn't win this for some reason.
No, the reason why I'm coming to my enunciation and intonation are pretty horrible then because Sapre picked KDB who didn't play. Shivram picked Aubameyang who didn't come. So that means just you.
What
It is so unfair. I mean, unchallenged.
I think we need a substitute here.
Oh, excellent! This is good news.
So Karthik, just quick shout out. I've already made my changes for the coming week.
So I'm always nice to you guys. So I'm pretty. I really don't know what this thing to give. Let's see what good games do we have. Shivram, you usually do that. You usually tell us.
So Spurs have a double game week. So you have to load up on Spurs. They've been pretty bad over the last 3-4 game weeks. So they will come with full khunnas. The fadfadahat, like Karthik says, will show up. So I'm guessing you'll end up captaining a Spurs player. There is Son and Kane, which are the obvious picks, but a third one, maybe if you want a Reguilon, to make sure you bank those clean sheet points because they are playing Everton and Southampton.
Forget all of this. Arsenal is playing Fulham.
Oh my God.
Forget all of these other matches. Spurs, double game week, all that shit. Arsenal play Fulham. You have to pick someone from this.
I don't have a player from either team.
Your problem.
So let's wait. PA, hold on. Let the minister make his decision.
So I'm liking the Arsenal Fulham again. I think it's like Arsenal Sheffield, right? It's just 1-2 positions above Sheffield. I think it's kind of pointless. And I don't want to jinx Fulham yet. There is still some hope there. So I'm not going to go there. I like your idea of Spurs, but I think you have an ulterior motive to go with Spurs.
Made changes to his team already.
So
first players.
Or maybe you're tricking me here. So I'm going to say go Spurs. Okay. But I'm going to make sure that I put a condition for Shivram only.
Wow. So what is the stipulation for Sapre? Let's get that out first.
Spurs.
So what do you have to captain a Spurs player?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the stipulation for me?
You have to captain a Spurs player, but not Harry Kane.
Done.
I know you have the other, and I have a strange feeling you may have captained the other anyway, but I'm still going to do this.
Oh, you got Lucas Moura as captain.
I can't captain Lucas Moura, man. It's terrible.
So you'll have to bring another. I thought he was going to captain Lucas Moura.
Harry Winks? Who are you captaining?
I have Moura, Son and Kane. So I'll pick.
Okay. But no Kane. Yeah, that's
no Kane.
Only,
so I'll pick. I'll make the decision on which two.
Yeah.
So I know Son is great in Korean drama, so that's great going for him. Lucas Moura is Brazilian, so maybe he'll score well. so one of the two.
Underrated joke. That good one.
Thanks.
Yeah. Korean dramas are supposed to be good, but I've always been meaning to watch. Anyone has seen?
Yeah, over the weekend, United Spurs.
But apparently, in all seriousness, I'm saying that these guys, they do just one season. I think each of them is like just a mini series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's called, they have like I'm guessing when it's translated, they have like longer names, like My Heart Stops on Tea or something like that. I forget what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
There is something called Kim's Convenience. I don't know if you watched that. Fantastic show. Not a Korean drama, but a Korean family living in Canada who have a convenience store. Fantastic show.
It's difficult to gauge Korean dramas because they don't have a true north. So.
Oh, deep statistical / management joke.
I'm going to have to go Google that because that just went over my north.
True north is basically your biggest goal, like your BHAG. Let me throw in one more management term there. BHAG is a big, hairy, audacious goal, Karthik. If you haven't heard that before.
No.
People still say it out loud.
Okay. Anything else in fantasy, Shivram? Or are you done?
We
have to pick players for next week.
Yeah, we have to pick players.
Yeah. So, any good games to look out for? What is the game of the week?
Lingard is playing Newcastle, and Everton and Southampton are playing Spurs. Southampton, you saw the travesty they've become. So I don't know. So pick wisely. And also, I think City are playing Aston Villa. But who will you pick?
I'm going to change my question to you. My rule for you all.
Okay.
A little bit. Y'all can actually no. The rule for you still remains no Harry Kane. Okay. That's constant. But y'all can actually captain anybody who's playing a double game. If you want to go all out and captain some.
But that's just Spurs.
There must be another club, right?
No, just Spurs.
Only one club. How can they play 2 games? That is so unfair. No wonder Mourinho is criticizing everybody. This seems very unfair now.
No, but they play 2 games because then they have the Carling Cup or whatever.
So, but then in effect, wouldn't another club also be playing the second?
No, Baba. Everton's got game in hand, so they're just playing 1 game. You anyways don't watch games, so how do you?
But then this I should at least know now. This is reading a table.
You should know. Okay, let's not get there.
Okay. Let's just pick a player. Let's pick a player. Come on, Shivram.
I'm going with Son.
Just because you're captaining him, no?
So mine counts double, right?
No, it does not. I want to tell you last time only. I had a feeling last time you were going to bring this trick in when I think you captained one of your picks itself. Yeah. You won normally anyway, but I thought that you were going to try and play a snide.
It did. So if I had lost, I would have put that card.
So far, my guesses have all been turned wrong. This is the 4th time we are doing this. But yeah, Harry Kane just because got a double game week.
Nice.
Okay. Harry Kane. I don't know. I'm not going with Harry Kane either.
You should just go with Lingard. He'll outscore.
Go with Dallas.
I'm going to say I see this United Burnley and I'm looking at it as like a final. So I'm going to say Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, not a bad pick.
Yeah.
They might get more goals than Spurs get in both games. So that is a very, very likely chance that will happen. So it's not a bad shout out anyway. So I think if everyone wants to, you saw Burnley capitulate to Newcastle. I mean, Sapre saw Burnley capitulate to Newcastle over the weekend. So there is a very high chance that maybe a Cavani, if he doesn't start midweek, might be a fantastic pick. He's a great finisher up top. He has a lot of supply now. Now Pogba is playing really well. Pogba bossing the midfield. If you saw the pass to Lingard is a better club now, to Greenwood. He pushed +3 Spurs players like they weren't even there. Right? So I think you're very, very accurate. Cavani might be a good shout.
Yeah, no, fair enough. So if you want to join our fantasy football league, it's H3OMYA. Go join the Football Shootball League. But nearing the end of the season, so go do it fast in case you want that chance of winning a jersey of your choice. No name printed at the back. I'm sorry, there's a cooker going on in the background. Can someone take it?
We have 2 questions to wrap it up. One question from Lar. I love the questions, man. Keep them coming. Just pick. I don't need an explanation. Just pick one of the 2 options. Would it be better for Arsenal to go a season without Europe, or do they badly need to win the Europa? Sapre, go first.
They badly need to win the Europa because every other team is above them, is developing their squads, and Arsenal are going to be lagging behind. They'll just be like a mid-table team.
Karthik?
Yeah, Mr. Yenus always asks the nice questions.
At least a Janus, so it's like hidden.
No, but I've always maintained Arsenal. This is Arsenal season. Yeah, just win the damn Europa League.
Okay, cool. The second question, which we will end the podcast with, is Sahil T asks us, any comments on Conte's Inter?
I mean, brilliance, right? They're brilliant. They're top of the table. They're, I think, 10 or 12 points ahead of
12
everyone
points.
else. They've been beating every team inside by a single goal margin, I will add. But Lukaku has been great for them. Damian scored the winner this last weekend. They're getting people, anyone and everyone to score goals. And the cooker goes off again. My ice is getting ready. I hope that was good enough for you, Sahil T. Okay, but I still think I have 30 more seconds for the cooker, next whistle of the cooker. So I will continue with Inter Milan. I mean, ever since they got knocked out of Europe, I think that was a blessing in disguise. They've really taken their game to another level in Serie A. They are going to stop Juventus for sure from winning that 10th consecutive title. I think that is where Bayern will suffer. Bayern will now win 9 in a row. And then next season, they're going for 10 in a row. And as we have seen with Juventus and with Celtic, you just don't win 10 league titles in a row.
That is true.
What is another level in Serie A? With
that's also maybe their average age is not as averagey as the other.
As averagey.
Yeah, as the other clubs there.
There goes the cooker. Okay, that is time for us to break for lunch. This was fantastic. Thank you everyone who joined in, sent us their questions. Please keep sending them in. Tweet to us using #Football Shootball. Find us on Twitter. Very easy to find. There's only one verified here. Easier to find. Sapre and I are non-existent, but we do reply more than Karthik. So that's one good thing going for us. But that's it for this week. Have a happy holiday for those who are able to celebrate the holiday today. If you're not, stay safe, stay inside, mask up, don't go out. At least don't go to your friends' houses, especially if you're a highly paid multi-millionaire footballer who has to play on the weekend. Don't go out.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and Sapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Shootball. Recognize.